Hey guys, welcome to Shadow Skull Studios. It's Ray Wolf. We're here with another episode of a, basically this Friday deck list. This one I've been working on for a while, mostly because it's trying to balance it from doing too many things, and because this deck is a huge mana sink. Trying to balance the mana base and stuff like that, but finally making a Spider-Man deck. It's probably the only Spider-Man deck I'm gonna do because didn't really care for this set. I liked a lot of the cards, but none of them made me want to build a commander deck. Like a lot of creatures, just I didn't care to build around. They didn't seem fun. Um, like Eddie Brock and a Green Goblin, and it's another Grixis control deck type deal. So, like a lot of the cards, like the Iron Spider, uh, the Mist Octopus, like there was a couple cards that I wanted to get. Um, the Gwenum, I love the art for that one. I need to get the $100 art, uh, but that's gonna be a while. But yeah, so basically, this is gonna be the only Spider-Man deck I build. Not because I don't hate the set. It's just, and it's a fun set. Again, it's just not a lot of legendary creatures I wanted to build around. But I gotta ask, guys, if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe for more stuff in the future. Comment down below what cards you would want to add to the deck, what you would change for balancing reasons, what you thought was fun, and let's get into it. So we're playing Gwen Stacy. When she enters the battlefield, we're going to exile a top card of our library, and we can play it as long as we control Gwen Stacy. We can transform her into Ghost Spider, Flying Vigilance Haste. Whenever you play a land from exile, or cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on Ghost Spider. We can remove 2 counters from Ghost Spider. We can exile the top card of our library, and we may play that card this turn. So she kind of feeds herself, which is good. It's a slower type of card advantage. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Next, we have Jace, Architect of Thought. Mostly just going to be +1ing him. We can also do the -2 if we need cards. And then we have the -8, which we're going to try and do. For each player, search that player's library for a non-land card, exile it. That player shuffles it, and then you can cast those cards without paying their mana cost. Stuff like that. We have Jace Reawakened. I'll go ahead and switch the printing to English. We can't cast him until our 4th turn. +1 to draw a card, discard a card, or we can +1 to exile a non-land card with mana value 3 or less from our hand. If we do, it becomes plotted, which means on another one of our turns we can cast it. Until in the turn, when you cast a spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. The -6 is going to be it's mostly going to be for the +1 to plot cards. Let's go ahead and switch that back to the Planeswalker Championship promo, because I just like that art. Cotorius Cond. It gives us advantage when we cast a spell from exile. His +1 will make us creatures. And then the -3 for the Discover 4 will feed our commander, feed his ability. And then the -6, we can kind of get some graveyard recursion, and it gives us some mana. So it's not too far off. For our creatures, we have Arana, Heart of the Spider. When we attack, pull 1 counter on target attacking creature. Whenever a modified creature you control deals common damage to a player, exile a top card of your library. You may play it this turn, so on attack, buff something up, either to make them block something else or whatever. So hopefully we'll hit Chrome Host Seed Shark. When we cast on creature spell, we incubate X, where X is the spell's mana value. So we're going to be making modified creatures for Arana, and we have our deck's pretty diverse in card types. Displacer Kitten, if we want to flicker a Planeswalker to activate their ability again, like maybe Quintaris. Or some of our mana rocks for more mana. Gondorf of the Secret Fire. When we cast an instant sorcery spell from our hand during your opponent's turn, we're going to exile it with 3 time counters on it, and then we'll gain Suspend. So, more of like fueling our spells. Jura the Gitu, we can exile stuff from our hand with time counters, so we can cast them later. Jorah's Time Bug, to remove time counters. Mural, to stop our opponents from trying to cast our plotted stuff or ways to beef our commander. Nefelshni, we'll let, when we cast things from exile, we're going to get to copy them. And if they're permanents, we make copies of them. PNLR is going to make us Thopters. Quintorius, Lore Master. Basically, we're going to get to start. We make blockers, and then we can sacrifice them to cast things later that we exile with it. Riftmark Knight is going to make us some blockers while it's suspended. Sandwell, Avenger Ace, we can try and like go through our deck for artifacts and then cast them when it becomes tapped. Spectacular Spider-Man mostly is to protect our board. Spider-Man 2099, beginning of our end step, if we did the thing from exile, like our commander, is going to deal damage equal to its power to any target. So it's removal or it's burn. Tygum, Master Opportunist, when we cast our second spell, he'll exile it with time counters, and we copy it, so we still get it. The 10th Doctor, basically is going to give us stuff with time counters. And then we can dump into him to time travel 3 times. The War Doctor is going to essentially is just going to keep getting big because of everything we're doing with exiling. Urabrask for a healer. It's going to give our opponents, instead of like the first time they would draw a turn, instead they have to exile the top card of the library. So if our opponents want carded to use their cards, they're going to have to use them that turn. While we just get draw our card and do the exile thing. Urungear or Urgolt. When we play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, we're going to gain 2 life. When we look at top card of library, we can exile it face down. And until end of turn, when we tap them again, you can play cards exiled with them. And when we do, the spells cost 2 less to cast. So another way to cast things from exile. Urza is a mana sink. He gives us a big dude. We can tap all of our artifacts for mana. And then we can get to cast something from our deck. Uvilda, Gene of Perfection, will let us put cards from in sorcerers from our hand into exile with home counters, which are basically time counters. But it's not free to cast. We still have to cast it, but it costs 4 less to cast. Wild Magic Sorcerer, our first spell we cast from exile each turn has Cascade. To our sorceries, we have Ancestral Vision for card draw. Call Forth the Tempest is a one-sided board wipe. Inevitable Betrayal is to steal our opponent's creatures. Into the Vortex is Cascade and Rebound for our commander. Portent of Calamity. It will let us basically cast stuff from the top of our deck for free. But it's a weird card to explain because we were going to exile top X for each card. We choose a card for each card type, exile it, then we can cast a spell from the exiled cards without being mana cost. If we exile 4 more cards this way, then put the rest of the exiled cards into our hand. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. Plus, it's not card draw. Reality Strobe. It's gonna let us bounce a thing every turn, or every 4 turns, and then it'll keep exiling itself, so we can cast it again. Rousing Refrain is going to fill our mana every time we cast it again, so like every 3 turns. Tasha City's Laughter is just a mill card for our opponents. The Wedding River Song is essentially us and an opponent are going to get to exile things. They cast them again later. Wrath of God as a board wipe. For instance, we have Absorb as just a cheap counter spell. Chroma's Will, protect our board. Clock Spinning, it's just going to let us do our little time clock. Dawn's Truce, protects our board. Dust of Moments for the time counters. Surge of Salvation protects our board. Time Crafting, time counter stuff. For artifacts, we have a bunch. Arcane Signet for Mana Rock. Chaos Wand to cast in sorceries from an opponent's library. So it feeds our commander and we get some of their instant sorceries. Chamil the Sun for the Discover 5. And our stuff can be countered. Chromatic Ori, just for mana fixing. Commander Sphere for Mana Rock. Chromatic Lantern for mana fixing. Interdimensional Web Watch. It's going to be a Mana Rock for casting things from exile. Lightning Greaves protect our commander. Lotus Bloom and Mox Tanalite. Artifacts that we get to cast for free later on. River Song's Diary. We'll get all the sorceries that us and our opponents cast. So it feeds our commander. Rod of Absorption is kind of like River Song's Diary, except we have to pay mana into it to cast those spells. Since it's Divining Top, since we're going to be exiling the top of our library, we want to at least look at it and see if we can sort it out. Soul Ring for Mana Rock. Soul Talisman, another suspend card. Swashbuckler's Whip. It's just an extra thing for us to dump mana into to discover 10. The TARDIS. We'll give our stuff Planeswalk. Or not Planeswalk, sorry, Cascade. Unstable Amulet is going to burn our opponents anytime we cast a spell from exile. Wand of Wonder, this time we get to cast multiple spells potentially and sorceries from our opponent's decks. So yeah, a lot of stuff to help us with exile. Karmic Justice, so if our opponents blow up our non-creatures, we get to blow up their stuff. Mind's Dilation, steal our opponent's spells, and it goes with our commander. Monk Class will let us cheapen our spells. We get to bounce a thing, and at the beginning of our upkeep, we can exile a top part of our library. For as long as it remains exiled, it has you may cast it as long as we've cast another spell this turn, so we can kind of storm off on another turn. Passionate Archaeologist is going to be burn. Stolen Strategy, we get to steal our opponent's cards. So there's a couple of mean cards in here, but it's all mostly just to feed our commander. The I try and build my decks to be as redundant as possible. And it's going to be a slow deck. This is a casual deck that, like, this to me is a bracket 3 deck. Because there's no super fast mana. There's no, like, too much control. The deck is just hopefully always going to be getting benefit from casting stuff from exile and hopefully able to rebuild. For lands, we have Command Tower, Exotic Orchard. We have all 3 of the Verges, all 3 of the Pathways. We have 8 mountains, 8 islands, 8 plains, and then we have a Terramorphic Expanse. I went kind of cheap on the lands because this is, to me, a bracket deck. Like, this is, to me, is what a bracket deck should be. It's not over controlling. We're going to try and win, but it's not trying. We're not trying. Like, we're trying to win by turn 8 to 10. Earliest, like, maybe turn 7, if we get, like, super lucky and our opponents aren't doing anything. But yeah, like, this is a very casual deck in my opinion. We are going to play test it, but not too much because it just does not matter. Let's restart that hand. No lands. Sure, we'll keep it. So draw a card for turn. We'll play a Verge. Next turn. Yeah, it's not good either. Man. There you go. Lands. Redraw for turn. We'll play a Verge Pathway turned over to the Mistgate. And then we'll suspend 4. And then we'll suspend 3. So not too bad. Next turn, Mountain, Commander. Top of our deck is going to be an Island. Next turn, oh wait. Remove. Play that. Chromatic Lantern. Next turn, remove a counter, we get Lotus Bloom. Remove a counter on Vision. So turn 4, we're going to play an Island. We're going to go ahead and sack this for 3 red mana. White and a blue. Turn over our commander. No, we'll do 3 white mana. It doesn't really matter, I guess. In all honesty. Our lands tap for whatever. Turn over. Flip our commander. And then we have 3 mana left. Then we'll do Uranger. There we go. Turn 5. We cast Ancestral Vision, drawing 3 cards. I'm going to tap, looking at the top card of my library, and we may exile it. And we will exile it face down under our dude. We will Pathway. We'll red, white for PNLR. And then because our mana doesn't matter, then we'll do Monk class. There we go. Next turn, we're going to tap, play lands, gain 2 life, right? Yep. Put a 1/1 counter. We make a Thopter. So this is a good turn 6. We doing stuff and it's not super scary. We just now have an engine. Let's go ahead and restart. Good hand. We'll draw. I'm going to go ahead and play Islands, Ancestral. 4 counters. Next turn, Mountain, Commander, exiling Time Bug. Alright, I like Time Bug. Next turn. We'll turn over Pathway to Pillar Verge. And I'm going to... I don't know what to do here, honestly. Let's just do lightning groups and equip it to our commander. Oh yeah. Set counters to 2. Next turn, play Mountain. Play Tigan. Remove counter. I keep forgetting that. Cast TARDIS. Exiling TARDIS with 4 counters. Make copy of TARDIS. Right? Yep. Turn 5. Play a Plains. No. We have to do this first. This gets cast. We draw 3. Okay, that changes up. Now we're going to do Pathway, Flip Commander. This loses a counter. And we don't have a Time Lord, so TARDIS does not do anything. I did not read it all the way, so I could probably take TARDIS out of here. Turn 6. This is a lot slower than last time, but it's fine. It's fine. Plains. Remove counter. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of like that though. Because I just don't have the mana to do everything that I want. So we'll do River Song Diary. And then we'll do Amulet, which will get exiled. 4 counters. And then we make a copy of it. Two energy. So, not too bad, I would say. Turn 7, Islands. Alright, now I'm casting it because I'm tired of waiting on it. We cast Time Bug, add a counter to our commander. Oh yeah. Remove 1. Remove 1. We'll 5 mana. Flip over. Cast Nasari. So we can steal our opponent's stuff. So it's not too bad. Again, slow deck. I'm half tempted for this one because I just think it's funny. Sure, we'll draw for turn. No, let's not. Let's just mulligan that until we get a playable hand. Need at least 2 lands that are decent. There we go. That's better. Alright, so we'll draw a card. We'll immediately play Verge. Next turn, Island, no. Mountain, Commander, exiling land. Oh, cool. That's fine. Next turn. Islands, cast your rain gear. Don't have anything else. Next turn. Next turn, we're gonna play our land, gaining 2 life. And then we'll just play Chaos Wand? No. Yeah, sure. Chaos Wand. Or no. Here's a look. Let's do that first. Sure. We'll exile that under Tagum. Actually, you know what? No, we'll keep it on top. And so, yeah, we'll just do Chaos Wand. It doesn't matter. Next turn. Cast Tagum. Cast Spectacular Spider-Man, which will get exiled with 4 time counters, making a copy of it that we can sack to protect our board. Tap. What's the top card of our library? Yeah, we'll exile that with 4 time counters. So not bad things. Next turn, islands. We're going to flip over Commander. Remove. Tap. We'll be exiling. Stolen Strategy, we'll leave on top. Because it won't really matter. If we wanted to, we would just Chaos Wand. Or we could do Displacer Kitten to flip. No. Chaos Wand if we wanted to. We just wanted to start doing shenanigans. Or we could just Dusk right now. Shorten everything. Start buffing our commander. So yeah, this deck is like very just situational. But it can play very well. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this deck, guys. Please, I ask that y'all support the channel. It could really help out a lot in the long run. And I'll see y'all again next time. Bye-bye.